What do renters want in 2025? The folks at Himlane, led by their CEO, Dana Dunford, actually did a survey of over 1,500 renters asking a whole collection of questions, trying to break down what the heck do renters want. We now have the survey results, and some of the data is quite interesting. Dana, first off, thank you for doing this survey. Many people kind of survey landlords. I don't know of a lot of people actually going to renters. So kudos for you to looking at that side of the equation.
Yeah, I think it's important because renters are your customer, right? The tenant is your customer. And I know, Michael, you and I are both a fan of not having turnover because turnover will cost money. There's vacancy. There's always a risk with new tenants. So if you have tenants who pay on time, follow the lease, are good people. I think personality, it's a people game. So personality plays a role. And with that, if you have a good tenant, you obviously want to keep them in the property. And so we surveyed them, and 79% cited this as the reason they wouldn't renew. And so what do you think that would be? 79% of the tenants.
79% of the tenants wouldn't renew. So they're in the unit.
Yeah.
They wouldn't renew.
This is the number one reason that they would say, "Oh, I'm not going to renew."
I actually have no idea what a renter would say. I don't know.
They increased the rental rate too much. Price.
Of course.
It came down to price. And it wasn't only just increasing it. It was honestly also looking at what else is in the market. And so that's where it is really important for you not to say, here's my price and I'm going to increase it by this amount, like, CPI, just whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just because. I actually think every single real estate investor out there needs to actually go on Zillow, go onto our rent estimate report, look at both, because ours is based on what has just been leased. Theirs is based on what is physically on market today. And you need to go out there and say, okay, the tenant is doing that, because this is basically 80% of tenants are saying they're doing that process. Price is the number one factor.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because again, one of the things I love about our community, and I believe you talk with them as well, Dion. This is why folks really need to learn that binder strategy, because your response was important, but there was one word that was the really important part, or a phrase. 79% of people will not renew if they raised too much, and it's the too much that makes the binder strategy the right answer, right? Because again, if you're doing the binder strategy correctly, you, the landlord, are going out and surveying the market ahead of time. You, the landlord, are putting together the binder either electronically or physically with what is out there. And you're coming back in with something potentially less than that. So again, it's the too much of that answer that I think is the most important part.
Yeah. And it's alignment. It's that alignment of saying, it might be 10% and they think it's not too much because the market has gone up, 50%. I mean, that's an extreme example, but is something like that would be where they wouldn't consider it too much if they're aligned. So I think alignment is huge.
Well, again, I mean, just a real life example from Dion. The video's not out yet, but we talked about it yesterday. He had a tenant. He was about to have a turnover. The tenant gave notice. And sure enough, the tenant went out and looked around and realized that rents had gone up more than that, and they canceled, and they are now staying put. So again, the binder strategy works. And if you're keeping rent, below market by some amount, it's easier to keep good tenants. Don't take them right to the edge, because that tells them to look elsewhere.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is one of those things where when your tenant moves, the question is always why. If they're moving for a job to a different state, okay, you couldn't have done anything about that. If they're moving because they're buying a home, great. Now they're on the homeowner, path. That is fantastic. But if they are moving down the street, you probably, they were,
you made
tenants,
a mistake. Yes.
You made a mistake. And that's the thing you want to avoid.
Amen.
The next one, that it was 14% said their relationship with their landlord, that mattered so much. And
so it went from 79 to 14?
14% for the next one.
That was the next most important?
That
79 to 14?
Yes. And so,
right.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that interesting? And so I think that relationship is really important. relationships, it always seems it starts tense or stressful between
Sure.
a landlord and a tenant, and you want to avoid that at all costs. So have a really strong process down. Say, would you like to go through the lease with me and the terms to make sure you and I are aligned? Really making sure every step of the process is really clear, because you want that to be a very positive relationship from the start. And when it becomes sour, like you or the tenant, someone was not communicating well enough, it's really hard to get that back on track. And so I found that to be really interesting. That was the next
Yeah,
one.
that was cool. All right.
And then location and neighborhood, and then maintenance responsiveness were cited as well. Now this is another interesting one. Oh, sorry, go for it, Michael.
No, I'm just playing with these because again, when I think about my portfolio, like what were the last two? Was location and maintenance, right?
Location and then maintenance responsiveness, like
Yeah,
repair
yeah.
responsiveness.
Location is one of those ones that you really can't change, right? And I've had this tenants move into an area,
Mhm.
it's not their vibe. That typically happens in the first year. But yeah, if you have somebody there for multiple years, that's not going to be one. So yeah, all of those make a lot of sense to me. But at the end of the day, price is paramount. If you don't
Yeah.
know the binder strategy, go look up the binder strategy. Protect yourself. Dion for the win for sure. So yeah, where do we go next?
Yeah, definitely. We asked also, what are the top requested improvements while you're in the
Ooh,
property? 40%, this is interesting because this is something you can control.
yeah,
40% said faster repairs. They want repairs to be done much faster. And
interesting.
that is something you can control. So the moment you get that repair request to come in, or you can use us for it, and we will make sure that's fast because we have SLAs. But really just making sure it's communicated great. What's your schedule? We always ask for that in advance, like what days will you be there for a
Yeah,
service professional? And what you really need to do, at least what our SLA is you need not to have it scheduled by then, but at least have someone on the books within. If it's an emergency, it's obviously 2 to 4 hour SLA. Otherwise, it's 24 hour to
yeah,
48 hours. And that's just mentally to say we've got someone on the calendar. Because if that person's coming out in 2 weeks, the tenant might say, "Ooh, do you have anyone sooner?" And then you can try to find someone sooner. But at least that helps set that expectation of trying to get to fast repairs. I think often a landlord will get in and be like, the laundry's broken. I'm super busy today. I'll get to it this weekend. By the time you get to it, it's like another 2 weeks out. And so really
yeah.
trying to push that up.
Yeah, when I think about the 40% want repairs quicker, one of the things that kind of what you were talking about, but in a little more detail, is you got to get tenants need to understand the timelines or SLAs, as you're saying, because everybody wants it fixed yesterday, and it's hard to figure, it's impossible to fix things yesterday. And some tenants just don't understand that. And that's why I think Hemlane's platform is so unique, and why we need to do a better job of talking about repair coordination, because that's the kind of secret sauce for mom and pop landlords, right? Mom and pop landlords, especially if you're a full-time employee like I was, it's really hard to keep a realistic SLA going when you have a job, raising a family, or traveling. And that's why the repair coordination, the part of Hemlane that we don't talk about enough, is that secret sauce, and people need to check out.
Yeah, and you never know what it's going to happen, but
Yeah.
something's going to come up, and you're going to want to take
I
care
know
of
when
it
it happens and
quickly.
how it spends on Thanksgiving or Christmas every
Yeah,
year. That's when it happens.
totally, especially with the oven breaking
Yes, I
on
had that.
Thanksgiving.
It's funny you said that.
Oh,
I've had that a couple of times.
yeah, that's that because they've got the whole family coming over. So yeah, totally. You want someone there on the call who's delightful for them and not trying to also cook for their own
Yes.
family during
Yes.
that day. And a fun fact, actually, our repair team that works on Thanksgiving, they're actually in Canada.
Oh, of
So
course. That makes sense.
they have a different Canadian Thanksgiving. So it's okay because they're like, I'm not missing my
Yeah.
family. So they're actually very delightful about it because they have a different Thanksgiving. So
That's cool.
just something to note.
That's
The
smart.
next one is also one you can control of top requested improvements. It was flexible leases. So 21% said they would prefer flexible leases. And how I interpret that is essentially saying when you're doing a lease renewal, you can go ahead and say there's a month to month option at a higher rate, or a
Oh,
12-month locked in. Not really setting it up where it's like this, you have to stay for another 12 months at just one price, really giving them optionality to feel like they have some sort of choice,
yeah.
even though always the choice you want to lead them to is staying long term.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And again, yeah, I left that out. Again, I don't see landlords, changing that on the first year. But yeah, if you have a good tenant, again, you will know if they're a good tenant after 12 months of living in your unit. Offering up flexible options is important. You could go in, hey, here's a month-to-month option, cost X. Here's a year, cost Y. And oh, by the way, if you're willing to do 2 years, Z, assuming
Yeah.
that's allowed in your state or city. But yeah, there's optionality is a good idea for a good tenant.
Yeah. It makes them feel not just stuck
Yeah,
and out or in. They
yeah,
much feel like it's their home and their decision.
yep.
The next one also coming in at 21% is upgraded amenities. So just upgraded and amenities was primarily, this was to folks in single family homes. I think it was like
Mm.
52% single family, the
Okay.
rest multifamily, duplexes up to 20 unit complexes. But more amenities, and so, or just like upgrades essentially to the property where they feel like it's newer.
When you say amenities, my brain goes exterior. But do you think these were
Exterior.
maybe in? So these were all exterior amenities.
Exterior and interior. Yeah, in both cases, just I think amenities, kind of upgrades to it to make it feel um I don't want to say community because a lot of these are single
Yeah.
family homes, but just making it feel much more like home, and that it's not
Mm.
a landlord looking to maximize cash flow
Yeah.
and make the experience terrible.
Reinvest into the
Yeah.
property. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
reinvest into the property.
Makes sense. Okay.
And then the last one that was cited, noted, was better communication at 12%. And so that's one, again, you can definitely fix
Yeah.
yourself. So if you're not communicating and having a really strong process, that is definitely something
Well,
to
this
look
is
into
this is
and
what
improve.
Him solves, right? The ability to not only communicate efficiently, quickly, but audit trail. Because again, I can't tell you how many times tenants have said, "You didn't get back to me." I'm like, "Here's three. Here's a phone call. Here's two texts, email, right? Smoke
Yeah.
signals. What do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
Right.
The
So
carrier pigeon next,
yeah,
Michael.
yeah.
The carrier
Sorry,
pigeon.
that's on
Yeah.
me. They were bored or whatever. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah. And I always say, just like any kind of people business, if there's some sort of conflict and some sort of kind of nasty message being sent back and forth, I can't emphasize how much and how important it is to pick up the phone
Yes.
and just talk to them, because the second you guys get on a call or anything where you guys actually have a little bit more emotion because you can hear one another's voice, it
Mhm.
suddenly just relaxes things. And so it's a people business. So keep that in mind. We just use a lot of calls with rental assistant and repair coordination. We do record all of them, and we tell them we're recording them, but we record them. And it suddenly seems like things just move farther and faster, because a lot of times with text, things get lost.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I don't know. Sometimes technology is a curse, and I think one of the things that technology is a curse on is repair coordination, communication with tenants. Pick up the phone, people.
Yeah.
Stop relying on tech.
Yep. Yeah. All right. The next one is probably going to be surprising to you. We all asked, how long do you plan to stay in
Ooh.
your current rental? Um, Guess what percentage said less than 6 months?
So I'm a tenant. I'm in less than 6 months. I'll go 31%.
Yeah, you're close. 28% plan to turn over in the next 6 months.
Yeah, and here's my next guess. Only half of them will.
Yeah.
Because again, I think when I think of tenants, most of them are like hopefully they're going to buy a home, right? Hope that's get them on the property ladder. But I think a lot of tenants have voiced we want to get out of here for X, Y, or Z. Then they go look at moving costs and they're like, I guess I'll stay. It's not that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. All right. And then guess what percentage? There's also 6 to 12 months and then 1 to 2 years. But what percentage do you think plan to stay over 2 years?
15%.
It's 27%.
Wow. I would
Yeah.
not. I would have gone lower before I went higher.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So a lot of tenants are actually
Yeah, a lot of tenants are
wanting to
happy.
stay. They're happy. Yeah. And then I have a happiness survey for you too.
Oh no. All right, cool.
We asked how satisfied are you with your current rental situation? Again, we took folks who were on Hemlane and also not on
Yep.
Hemlane. They chose other properties. Um, Guess what percentage? So it's very satisfied, somewhat satisfied, not very satisfied, and unsatisfied. Guess
Okay.
what percentage are very satisfied with their rental? Highest level.
Oh my God. I'll go 23%.
Only 23%. Wow,
Yeah.
68.5%.
Wow.
Very satisfied.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, good news. Landlords, you're killing it out there. If you've got
Exactly.
63% of tenants that are extremely satisfied, you're crushing it.
And then guess,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah,
63. Wow.
guess what percentage were unsatisfied? So the lowest level.
Well, I'm going to go. So I originally would have guessed this number was higher, but given we've already absorbed 63%, I'm going to go
Or
8
68%.
or
Yeah,
60. Oh, geez. I'm going to go 8.
yeah, it's at 3.8%.
Ah,
So not
even
very
lower.
many are very unsatisfied. I
Dude,
think,
landlords are
though,
killing it. That's what that
yeah,
means.
nah, exactly. What's interesting about it is I also think as a landlord, you kind of feel that most tenants everything's fine, but what you always remember is the case where it's a pain and the miscommunication and everything kind of comes at a head. But yeah, so most
Less
tenants are
than
really,
4%.
yes, less than 4%.
I mean, because if you step back as a landlord and you just really internalize that, because it's always the noisy 4% in this, or 3.8%. That's
Yeah,
all I think about. And it's
yeah,
really
yeah,
fun for me now to just play it out that probably right. 90 some odd percent are okay to happy. And it's just the
yeah,
3.8% that are, and just like earlier, I bet half those are never going to be happy.
yeah.
Right. So
It's a
again,
personality thing that you can't
yeah,
change, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah,
Wow. This
totally.
is fun.
Yeah.
Are you going to make this yearly? That way we can get comparisons yearly.
We really should make this yearly. There's the state of the property management industry that we do yearly with the landlords to survey, but we
Sure.
definitely should do one with tenants. What do you think we should add to it?
Let's think about that. I don't know. I probably want to think about that more. But I mean, I love what you had, and I think baselining it year to year would be interesting. Um, yeah, I think maybe ask. You know what? Again, just totally off the top of my head, what is the number of ways your landlord communicates with you? Like,
Yeah,
what's the number one way? Do they just text? Do they call? Do they email? On site? Like
yeah,
what vehicle is the number one communication? Um, I think the next one would be, how many people do you communicate with? Like, do you just communicate with the owner, or is there a team? Like, how many contacts do you have at the property? Like,
yeah,
how many different phone numbers do you have to get service, or whatever? That might be
yeah,
interesting. Contact points. Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. This is fun.
yeah. Great.
There you go.
Well, thank you. That's the results there.
All righty, folks. Let me know what shocking numbers in this survey that you had. Also, if you have any topics or questions, put them here. Dana will look at it, maybe add it to next year's survey. I just like spending her money, making this a yearly thing. Dana, if somebody wanted to check out Hemlane for advertising, repair coordination, what do they do?
Yeah, you can go to hemlane.com. We have everything from free plans to get you started as a landlord to paid programs where you can take a bit more of a back seat. I've just mentioned one rental at a time because you do get 20% off that first year, which is our highest discount if you come through or at.
There you go. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thanks so much.